Yes, hello everybody. We are back. You know what it is. It's the Dynasty Hotseat, the only Dynasty show out there that is a certified inferno. The boys are back in town. Mags and Paul bringing you Dynasty Fantasy Football Week 13 preview. Let's get into it. Yes, here we are. Week 13. Unlucky for some, and maybe unlucky for a lot of people considering the amount of teams on a bye this week, but we'll have to wait and see. Today we're going to break down some of the bigger topics in fantasy football. We're going to look at some starts, we're going to look at some sits, we're going to play some games, and we're going to have some fun times as always. So thank you for joining in on this week on the Dynasty Hotseat. Remember, if you got a question for us, we have a segment for that as well. If you're watching over on X, don't see those questions, make sure you head over to YouTube. Right in the chat, you'll see I've already posted a message. Just type your question in there, and we'll get to it later on. And just thank you so much for joining. If you are watching this after the fact as well, hey, make sure you've hit that like and subscribe as well, and get involved, and don't miss a thing from the Dynasty Hotseat. We're normally on a Thursday. We've gone one day earlier, Paul, because we just couldn't wait to get into this week, right?
Yeah, something like that. Not the fact that my job takes over and I'm going to be sleeping in a truck tomorrow. But yeah, we're dead excited to get into this week's football.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's championship season, right? It's championship season now, Paul. Right? It's a time now where you really, really, really know. Oh, it's like I got a chance here. Like I'm in with a shout, right? So one of our two topics we're going to cover is just that. Like, you've got a shot of winning this championship. What are some of your go-to championship moves around this time of year, Paul, where you're like, I might be the 1 or the 2 seed, and I just want to make sure, I want to lock up this thing safe and sound. Do you have any like go-to moves that you use to secure yourself a Dynasty championship?
So, one thing that I do this time of year is I'm definitely looking at the playoff stretch, so week 15, 16, 17, that week. I'm looking at games. We know who you can score points on. We know who's going to put up a lot, who's going to be high scoring games as such, or we'd like to think we have an idea. So that's one of my things that I do now. I'm aiming, I'm looking, it is difficult in Dynasty to make so many moves, but if you can flip things, maybe look at somebody that's, I don't know, completely out, and they've got a running back that you need, and that running back can help you, and he can get you the W. Then maybe look. I did a straight swap the other day. I flipped. You're going to hate me for this one, Mags, but I flipped Tony Pollard for Kyron Williams.
I don't hate that at all. Actually, Tony Pollard's been crap.
Yeah, and it was like I threw a pick on top. It was like a late third round. I'm contending team, so it could be a late third round pick, and I was just like, get the deal done, throw that on top.
Smash.
Got me Kyron Williams. I'm very happy with it, and but I'm looking at that going, I don't really think Tony Pollard's going to help me win this season. No. And, Kyron Williams is a guy that could win me this season. So, that's sort of more what I do. Is there anything you do?
Yeah, I think that's a really good bit of advice is looking at the schedule and trying to pinpoint those players that can really, really make a difference. Yeah, I kind of I'll look at every team. I'll look at every team's record. And this is where I usually do this anyway, but I'm a big advocate of messaging people. So if I see someone is 1-10 and they've got Derrick Henry on their roster, I message them saying, hey, I noticed you're 1-10. You have Derrick Henry. Obviously, he's, maybe next year might be his final year in the league. It's like, I'm happy to give you like a second and a third for him now. So you're not going to end up holding the bag with him and missing out next year where you're probably not going to be contending anyway. So a message along those lines only fluffed up nicer than that, right?
Yeah.
And then see if I can get a deal done. I'm actively targeting the older players on the teams that definitely, if they know what they're doing anyway, do not want those older players. Because if I'm content, I'm happy to take those guys on board and to ride them out into the sunset. So that's one thing I'm definitely doing. Yeah, looking at that schedule for sure. And then even little things like I'm happy to take players, even though I might never start them. I'll go and buy some backup players just in case. I'm looking at worst case scenario. Like let's say I've got a Tyreek Hill on my team, and Tyreek Hill for whatever reason goes down and gets injured. I'm needing someone that I can plug in there to replace, or at least do a decent job of replacing Tyreek Hill. I'm really wanting depth. So that is the thing I think that's key to any championship is depth. Because if we know anything about the NFL, we know anything about fantasy, your players are going to get injured. There's no way you're riding into that championship game with a clean IR. Like people are going to be on there. So you got to build up that depth as much as possible. And those are my main go-to moves. Would you do something similar as well? Would you kind of target those extra players as well, Paul?
Yeah, and the one thing I wanted to mention about what you were just saying, which I really, really love, is, and I know a lot of people have been banging on about this recently, and they talk about it a lot, that age in Dynasty, people sort of look at age and go, oh, he's crap, I don't want anything to do with him, you know? And targeting them veterans could be something that could really, really help you, you know? Like you said, using Derrick Henry as an example, we're not saying this is his last season. We're not saying it isn't his last season. So if you've bought him cheap, he can help you. As we well know, Derrick Henry gets better as the year goes on. So we're kind of hoping he does that, and he's the he's the Yeti, as they call him on the fantasy footballers thing, isn't it? You know, hopefully he comes out and he just gets better as the weather gets colder and we get closer towards Christmas. And then, you know, if he plays again next season, then you've got what, the rest of this season and potentially a solid flex position player or flex player next year as well, you know. So don't be put off by this age thing, you know. And if anything, the age is the cheapest value that you can buy, because people are so out on it. They want a young running back, you know. They want this young, youthful player. Go and spend a third. Go and pick up somebody like Derrick Henry. See what he does for you. Yeah. Roll the dice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, rolling the dice with someone like Henry is always a good idea. I think, especially this time of year where he's the kind of guy that could win you a championship, absolutely hands down. And another thing happening this week, not only is it, you know, time to get ready for championship season, it's another Bipocalypse week, Paul. And so obviously you've been doing the Wildcard Rewind show, and that is like a redraft show where you really have to think about your bye weeks very carefully when you're drafting your team. I've got to admit, in Dynasty, I don't look at it at all whenever I'm drafting my team. I don't even pay any attention to it. Am I missing something here, or do you think it's like maybe are people missing a trick with bye weeks in Dynasty here?
No, because with Dynasty you don't draft a team for a season.
Yeah.
You draft a team to build. Now you could have drafted this year and gone, oh shit, it's Bipocalypse. Off the top of my head, I don't know who's on bye. The Bills are on bye, Ravens are on bye. Are you going to avoid Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson because you go week 13, he's on bye, can't get these, can't put these in the same team, going to be in the shit. Because then next year, you may find if you've targeted the Chiefs and the Dolphins that they're on bye the same time next week and next year, and you go, oh well, I'm in the shit now, and you know. So Dynasty, I don't think looking at bye weeks is really that necessary. I think you need to try and do your best and plan around it. But, you know, to me, this Bipocalypse is quite an easy solution. You're either in the playoffs and you're going, yep, that's sound. I don't really need to worry about it. Or you're going, I'm not in the playoffs. I don't really need to worry about it. Or if you're trying to get into the playoffs, then that's when you're in the shit and you're going, right, I really need to put together a team. But look at the team opposite you. Look at what sort of, you know, what they've got in their team. Are they missing people? Because there's so many teams on bye. I think one of my home Dynasty League, one guy went, all of my wide receivers are on bye this week, you know. Look at teams like that, you know. Look at that. Look at who you're playing. Is he going to have to start loads of garbage? Then you'll probably find it maybe easier to fill your roster because the team opposite you is playing garbage as well, you know. So look at your opponents, look at what you're going to do, and do the best you can. And obviously a lot of dynasty leagues I play, and there's actually nobody on waivers.
No,
they're just so the leagues are so deep that you won't find anyone on waivers. You'll go, oh, I'll go and have a look. No, he's owned. What about no? He's owned. So
yeah, I seen like because I'm not really in a lot of redraft leagues. I'm in mostly dynasty leagues. I've seen loads of things on X there. It's like, oh, my face when you don't get Zach Moss on waivers. Like Zach Moss wasn't on a single waiver wire in any of the leagues I'm in. Not one.
Yeah,
like wasn't there. So it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of more of a dynasty thing, I think, as well. Like no one was dropping Zach Moss in dynasty. Maybe in redraft he was being dropped, but I didn't see him dropped anywhere.
No, it's redraft you focus on your team weekly, don't you?
Yeah.
It's when you're looking at that moment that Jonathan Taylor came back, you were going, Zach Moss holds me no value in my team now. He's just clogging up a bench spot. So people were going, oh, I could pick up somebody else. I can move this. I could do that. You're constantly moving players and on top of things and on top of the waiver wires, So, yeah, Dynasty's an easier one with not having to battle the waiver wire each week and try and figure things out,
Here's something you should do. I don't. I should be more prepared. I should look. You should probably at the start of the year look at your players on buy and look for any potential disasters and go out and buy someone to address that issue. I'm not very good at that though. I tend to see it coming a few weeks out and go, oh bollocks, and then like have to go and fix it then. But you should redo it at the start of the year, probably, right?
Yeah, if you want to be that proactive, like I said, you could be in a position now coming into what we on week 13. Is it this week 13? Week 12? Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah, week 13 coming up.
You could be in a position where you're going, you know what? I'm looking at finishing last. And if you're proactive at the start of the season, if you're proactive going, I need to cover this. I've got Josh Allen. I'm going to trade him away. Say you got Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I'm going to trade him away. Yeah, great trade. You may be in a position where you're going, good. But if you'd have traded Lamar Jackson away for Anthony Richardson and a first, or something along them lines, and gone, I need to be proactive. I need to be ahead of the game. Actually, what you've done then is you've then taken yourself out of a challenging position to, I've got loads of people on injuries now. So
yeah.
I get the being proactive thing, but at the same time, it's maybe a little bit like, I'll just roll with it. Yeah. I'll start Danny DeVito. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely no problems with me there, Danny DeVito. What an absolute guy. So that's kind of our two main topics we want to get into today. We're gonna roll into week 13. Anyone in particular you're like, this is a smash start or this is a smash sit? I mean, for me, I think a lot of people are going to avoid this matchup, well, as much as they can. The 49ers and the Eagles game, I think a lot of people are going to go, oh, I mean, obviously no one's sitting Christian McCaffrey, no one's sitting AJ Brown. But a couple of people might end up leaving out your Ayuks or your Slim Reapers, right? I think this could be a real good game. And I'd be happy starting your Devonta Smiths and your Brandon Ayuks, because both teams have shown that while they have good defenses, they both get passed on quite a lot as well. So I think this will be a really interesting game. And I'm more than confident rolling in with your Debos, your Ayuks, with your Devonta Smiths, and just starting those guys and trusting that their talent is gonna shine through. And if we're looking at any kind of sits of the week, I mean, if you haven't done this by now, but I mean, any Chiefs receiver not called Rashee Rice, please, for the love of God, don't still believe. It's over, folks. It's Rashee Rice, and that's all at the wide receiver position for the Kansas City Chiefs. I imagine most people have got there already, but please, it's time to give up.
But he's got to pass the ball to somebody.
I don't know how he's even up near the top of the passing yards, because I don't understand where Pat Mahomes' passing yards have come from, because he's spreading it out quite a lot. Rashee Rice hasn't got an incredible amount. Travis Kelce's numbers are slightly down. I mean, Justin Watson catches a hell of a lot of passes, but you can't start him. Like, it's just the whole, it needs to be addressed. It needs to be fixed. So hopefully this draft.
It needs Marvin Harris Jr.
Oh, can you imagine? Like that would be unfair almost. Like
I don't think
in our
I don't think you'd show up for to the podcast for like 3 weeks because you're still so excited.
I'd be buying every Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey I can possibly get. Yeah, there's a chance we can get somebody. You know, late first round pick. There might be somebody there, there's guys like Troy Franklin. People, there's people this year. There's people this year. Paul, you got any slam dunk starts or definite sits for the week?
So one of my starts of the week. Do you know what? I'll say it because I said it on the Rewind show. I don't know if you've listened to that. Probably not because you're a prick.
Yep. No, I finished it this morning, actually, Paul.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy. But my start of the week this week is going to be Adam Thielen.
Nice.
I think that Panthers getting rid of Frank Wright, you know, I think there's just going to be a bit of oomph behind them. And I think they're going to play with a new lease of life.
A new manager bounce, right?
Yeah, and I'm kind of maybe I'm just being a bit blinded by what happens in the Premier League here, and you sack a manager, and then you get a new one in, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, we're class, we're amazing, and they win one game and then lose the rest, you know. But I just think they're just going to play with a bit of freedom and just obviously his system wasn't working, it wasn't working for them, it wasn't working for anyone, and maybe somebody's going to come in and go, let's do it this way, and maybe they get in the groove again, you know. And we've already seen it with Adam Thielen this year, you know.
Yeah, so absolutely. I think that's great. Thielen coming in. Bryce Young obviously trusts him a lot. Yeah, I think that's
especially in a week where you've lost so many wide receivers, and you know, because you've lost, you know, Zay Flowers, OBJ, DJ Moore, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Anderson, Stephon Diggs, Dalton Kincaid, you know. Daniel Bellinger.
Absolute big Daniel.
Yeah. So you know, in that sort of scenario, maybe you've got an Adam Thielen on your bench and you can just fire him in for a week. So a sit for me is going to be. This is going to be a big one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
CJ Stroud.
Ooh, going up against the Broncos. Broncos have been playing well.
So, do you know what? I really wish I'd have screenshotted earlier. But Tom Strachan put in the Fantasy Sanctuary Discord saying the Broncos haven't given up a top 10 quarterback game since week 6, if I remember correctly, and that was to Pat Mahomes. And they haven't done that since. They've turned things around. They're on the up. I'm not, you know, they've up from where they were. This is a team that we'd have started every player playing the Broncos. You'd have started, you know, come week 3, week 4, and we all remember when the Dolphins put 70 points past them and absolutely went nuclear, like, you know, and since sort of like, you know, the last few weeks, everyone that seems to play them is struggling. They don't seem to be getting high scores, and everything seems to be clicking there. And I think CJ Stroud may be in for a tough week.
Did you hear the press talking to Sean Payton about scoregami?
No, I love scoregami as well.
They were like, very unusually, your team has been part of 2 scoregamis this season. So last week they're like 29-12 or where it was a scoregami. And he's like, what's the other one? And he's like, the 70-20 against the Dolphins. So I prefer the first one.
You know what? Do you reckon that was one of the moments where he went, oh, what was the other one? And he's trying to grab his words back.
It's like, fuck.
He knows. No. Oh, that was a 70-20 to the Dolphins.
Shit. Yeah. That's spicy as all hell. I love it. I like you got your justification, you got your reasons for it. Like,
yeah, mate, you know.
I mean, I've been waiting for both these teams to turn back into a pumpkin, so one of them has to, right?
Yeah. And obviously it's difficult. You know, as we always say, it's difficult to bench your studs, and CJ Stroud has been exactly that for the last, I don't know, the last 13 weeks. So you know, it's difficult, and I know a lot of people are going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to bench him, but if you've got a choice between him and I don't know. I'm trying to think of the. So in my home league, I've got Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, and CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
So that that decision's easy for me to make because I'm going to start CJ Stroud and Kyler Murray because they're the only two playing. But if you've got a league where you've got that, then that sort of caliber of players, then that's when you have a decision to make.
Do you want to hear a not so humble flex I have?
Oh, go on.
In my home league, my quarterbacks are so good that CJ Stroud is on my taxi squad.
Oh,
that's pretty good, right?
You disgust me. Disgust me. But hang on. You say home league. Are you with 11 Scottish people?
No, it's very multicultural actually. It's mostly Scottish people.
Explains a lot, mate. To be honest,
we got a couple of Serbians in there as well. Like we got a bunch of good guys in there. Yeah, Irish guy, great Irish guy actually, very charming.
Yes. Explains a lot, mate. Sounds like a joke, doesn't it? It sounds like a joke, not a home league. A few Scottishmen, a couple of Serbians, and an Irishman walk into a bar.
Oh, I told an absolutely terrible joke to my class the other day. I don't know if you'll like it or not, but it's have you heard the story about God who made a stick that could catch fire? No. It was a match made in heaven. Absolutely, just a slam dunk. Class loved it. Walked around like a hero. Absolutely brilliant, right? Thank you very much. This is the kind of entertainment we bring to the show. So we're going to move on to our next topic. Hey, Paul, last week we started building the ultimate quarterback and the ultimate shit quarterback, right? We said we'd continue it. We're going to do that. Did we say running back or wide receiver? I can't remember.
Let's go with it. Whatever you want.
Let's go running back. Again, just a quick reminder: if people are watching this over on X and you want to ask a question, hop on over to YouTube and ask it in there and type it into the chat box, and we'll get to that later on if we get any firing through. But Paul, yeah, let's build the ultimate running back, will we? So some attributes that you definitely need as a running back: you need size, you need speed, you need contact balance or balance in general, and you need pass catching ability. And let's go sort of smart. So we'll vision, right? Those are the 5 things I think that we need. So if we're building the best running back, who do you think has the ideal size?
Just to say, they've got to be active now.
Yeah, active players right now. Let's do that.
We're not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, all the the really old great running backs and stuff. None of that shit. Yeah. So what are we going with first?
Let's go size. Yeah,
size. So right, I think we'll disagree here. I think we'll disagree from the word go. So I'm going to say size. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, okay. So you're going very, very different. I'm going to go almost with I'm going to write these down as well so we don't forget. I'm going to go with more of a comical size, but I believe it is a size that could work if the player attached to it was actually talented, but unfortunately he's not. Give me AJ Dillon.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Right.
So that guy he's all show and no go, right? AJ Dillon.
Jahmyr Gibbs is 5'9".
Yeah.
AJ Dillon. And AJ Dillon is 6 foot.
Yeah, but he's wide, right? He's I just want the thighs.
Okay, so he's you wanted Quadzilla. So he's 6 foot and he's 247 pounds.
Yeah. Now we're talking. Gibbs must be 200 when he's dripping wet. He can't be too much more than that.
He's exactly 200.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's after a heavy meal. But it works for him. So right, I've got Dillon for size. You've gone Gibbs for size. Let's go speed, right? Who you taking? This is an easy one for me.
Oh. Demon! Get the tables!
Hit the tables. Absolutely correct. The fastest running back in the NFL, one of the fastest people on the planet. Davon, get the tables, Echan. We're both locked in for that. So I've got someone the size of AJ Dillon that runs as fast as Devon Echan, which is quite fun. Let's go next up. Let's go with the pass catching ability. Whose hands do you want to have? And I think again we might have the same person here, but I'm not.
Will we?
Yeah.
Go on. I'll let you pick first. I picked first the other two.
Give me the hands of Christian McCaffrey.
See, I was thinking Christian McCaffrey, but I was, it's hard to go. So I'll go different. So I'll say, give me the hands of Saquon Barkley.
Saquon would have been good. Alvin Kamara would have been a good one as well.
Super Kamara.
Kamara's got good hands. Yeah.
I
don't think he can go wrong there.
I don't think we can go wrong. But you've already used Christian McCaffrey, so you can't use him again.
That's true. That is true. Next, let's go. What did we say was left? We had vision, and then we had
balance.
All right, let's go for the balance. And who do you think is good at walking the tightrope? Who's got some good balance on them?
Bijan. The way he can just jump from side. Oh, mate. Oh, do you know what, mate? My running back is insane. Jameer Gibbs size, Devon Singh, Saquon's pass catching, Bijan's balance.
Yeah, nice.
Just you wait till we get to the vision. Oh, mate.
I've got a good vision one as well. I think Bijan for bat. I'm desperately trying to think of someone who could even rival Bijan for balance. He is fantastic for that. Let me just have a quick scroll, Paul. I'm going to need to resort to a little list here to see. Saquon's got pretty good balance, but he usually ends up tearing something when he tries to balance. That's just his biggest issue. No, that's two. No. I was going to say somebody, but you just absolutely ripped me for it.
No, I wouldn't. Come on.
I was thinking, he's got brilliant balance. Isaiah Pacheco has got phenomenal balance, right? But you see, that's why I didn't say it, because he was absolutely ripping for it. I can't. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna use the one I had for vision for balance, but I think I've got somebody else for vision. Give me Breece Hall for balance. He was going to be my vision, but
yes,
give me him for balance. All right, your vision one. You said you're going to blow my socks off with this. Who you got?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah,
man, that guy, mate. He can't do it anymore. But in his prime, mate, he could find a gap where there wasn't a gap.
He still has the vision. He just can't do anything. Like, he's still that vision probably doesn't go.
Yeah. He knows where he wants to go. His body just goes, no. Yeah. I just
almost tempted to be like this. See, I think this player does have quite good vision, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
No, Clyde Edwards-Helaire needs the only vision he needs to be seeing is his release papers. Like, that guy is fucking terrible. For vision, give me. Yeah, we mentioned him earlier, but it's hard to beat someone like Alvin Kamara there, right? I'll give me Alvin Kamara.
Yeah,
for vision. Right. So my running back is the size of AJ Dillon, runs as fast as Devon Etienne, has the hands of Christian McCaffrey, the balance of Breece Hall, and the vision of Alvin Kamara. That's pretty good.
That mate. That's good. Do you know what I mean? That's a great running back.
Yeah. Who you got?
So I've got. I didn't write mine down because I'm an idiot. So I've got my running back was Jameer Gibbs size, Devon Etienne's speed, Saquon Barkley's pass catching ability, Bijan's balance, and Ezekiel Elliott's vision.
Wow.
You know what? You know what? Awesome. You know what? I'm going to give my running back a name. We're going to call him James Conner.
James Conner. I was thinking for mine. Actually, no, I was going to say Jamal Charles, but he's the size of AJ Dillon, so it won't work. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. How about that? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we just built him, right?
Yeah.
Now we got to build the exact opposite, Paul. The shittest running back that we can possibly think of. Let's go with size to start with. Who has the least idyllic size for a running back? Because you don't really see running backs like this too often, where they're too small, because they often just don't get drafted, right?
Yeah, that's really tough size.
I've got a cheat one. He is active technically, but what is the name? Jared Patterson at the Washington Commanders. Isn't he like 5'5"?
Oh, I don't know. Let's find out, shall we?
Yeah, I think he might currently be the smallest running back of it. No, Deuce Vaughn. He's smaller than even him, right? Deuce Vaughn.
I've just tried to find out who you're on about first.
I think I'll look up Deuce Vaughn's size while you're looking up, but I know he's a small guy.
So Jared Patterson is currently at the Chargers running back, and he's 5'8".
5'8", right? So hold on, I need to do
and Deuce Vaughn is 5'6".
Yeah, let's go. Deuce Vaughn, 5 foot, all 5'6" of them. So we got the size of him. Let's build this one together.
He's 176 pounds.
He's quite he's an athletic guy. Like at 5'6", that's pretty good weight distribution, but yeah, it's still so small.
But that's still like really. That's not a good running back, that is it?
No, that's why he's not even.
So we're going Deuce Vaughn then, yeah.
Let's go Deuce Vaughn size. Whose speed are we going? Are we going back to the Ezekiel Elliott well here?
Oh, see, yeah, he's really slow at the moment, isn't he?
He is slow. Austin Eckler's looking slow as shit.
Yeah, maybe I'm leaning Zeke here.
Yeah, I would go Zeke.
It's hard to find somebody different to Zeke.
Yeah, he's plodding. Like, he's not going anywhere fast. I'll take Zeke as well. Hands. Who's got the worst hands at running back at the moment? Like, just lead bricks for hands. Derrick Henry's hands are terrible.
Yeah,
but I feel like we could definitely get worse than Derrick Henry's hands out there, right?
Yeah, we definitely can.
Yeah, I think there's. I mean, Gus Edwards, although he did have a 60-yard reception for like a touchdown, right? But yeah, Gus Edwards not catching.
I'm trying to think of like backup running backs that are just not good. Like,
you'll be able to answer it. What are James Conner's hands like?
He has his good moments. He has his bad moments. The same as a lot of running backs. Some games he's just fire, and then other days he's just garbage.
Yeah, because I can't think of too many. I'm just scrolling through a list here. I'm seeing James Conner. I'm like, that could be the one. Although it does seem harsh. And good on AJ Dillon. He can't catch anything, but he could be nominated for. I've got a few things for a good old AJ Dillon to fall under this category for.
What about?
Oh, he's bad as well. Dameon Pierce, he sucks. Yeah, I'm not seeing too many outside of.
Yeah, so the person I seen that thought of straight away was Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
he's
shown it in the past, but he's just been terrible this year, right?
Yeah,
it's quite hard. Like most of these, guys are like.
We should just say Clyde Edwards-Helaire, shouldn't we?
Yeah, he's terrible. Let's just put Clyde Edwards-Helaire in, right? Let's just go with him and move on, because he's not even entrusted to catch anything at the minute. So let's go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Then let's go quick fire with the vision and the balance. I'm going AJ Dillon has the worst vision in the NFL. That guy doesn't know where he's going at any time. balance-wise, I mean, it's a shame we can't put Daniel Jones in here. But balance-wise, who's all over the place, always falling over. Man, that's tricky.
So I'm gonna say for this one, I'm gonna say Royce Freeman.
Yeah,
he's shocking.
Yeah, I mean that system is like fully made up for running backs to excel, and Freeman did worse than Darrell Henderson, so that's really not
says it all,
good, right? Yeah, exactly. All right, that's pretty good. We built the ultimate running back. We built the shittest running back. We've built Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah Pacheco. Fantastic, like that. Absolutely.
You know what
fantastic.
I mean? You know what I mean? That's what we're here to do. Make you a happy man.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some questions rolling here, Paul. So we'll get to some of them before we get to. You've got a game as well, don't you?
It's all right. We can do it next week. We can do it next week.
All right. Well, let's roll in. We got a question from Dull Guitar, sorry. _7888. Dynasty thoughts on Lamar and Kyron Williams to get Jalen Hurts. That's a real interesting one. Hopefully,
I don't know how I feel about that. So it depends.
Yeah.
Right. Dull Guitar, tell us which side you are. If you're Jalen Hurts, if you're getting Jalen Hurts, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So to me, I think Lamar and Jalen Hurts are quite similar in value. Yeah. And I feel like if you're giving up Kyron Williams as well, you could be giving up a top 10 running back to maybe get an extra 30 points on the season from Lamar to Jalen Hurts. I think they've both got the upside of being QB1 on the season. Do you feel the same? Are they sort of similar tiers, Jalen Hurts and Lamar?
Yeah, they're dead close, aren't they? I mean, Jalen Hurts for me is a tier above Lamar Jackson, but would you give up someone that's red hot this season and could help you win a championship this year? Like, you can win a title with Jalen Hurts, absolutely. You can win a championship with Lamar and Kyron Williams, like, absolutely. Like, they're both players who can help you win a title this year. So I think you gotta ask yourself, Dull Guitar, like, are you contending this year? If you are, I wouldn't make this move. If it's more of a rebuild project and you're a couple of years down the line from contending and actually you're not going to be able to use Kyron Williams this year anyway, and you really want Jalen Hurts, why the hell not? Why the hell not? Go get your guy. Go get Jalen Hurts. But if you got any shot at winning this year, I would not pull the trigger on this at all.
If you are trying to get Jalen Hurts as well, do not go straight in with that offer.
Yeah.
Go in with a lesser running back or maybe like a third round pick or something like that. If you can get it done with a Lamar and a third, or maybe Lamar and a second, or maybe Lamar and a different running back, then I'd try and shoot the shit first instead
or
go on.
Yeah, or if you're going to get Kyron Williams, I bet you get a wide receiver with Jalen Hurts for that.
Yeah, try and bolster it a little bit, depending on which side. If you are the Jalen Hurts side and you're going to get Lamar and Kyron Williams, then I'm quite tempted to do that if you were the Jalen Hurts owner, because you get a very, 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 very good QB to replace Jalen Hurts, and you're getting a top 10 running back as well.
Absolutely spot on. Hey, we got Bryce Ridley in the chat as well. Hey, Bryce, what's up? Both you guys, if you've not hit that like and subscribe yet, that would be very much appreciated. Bryce Ridley, combination of Bryce Young and Calvin Ridley. Stay safe, don't gamble. I have Brian Robinson and Monty starting this week. Got Jones and Kenneth hurt. Should I drop Madison for Charbonnet for the week to replace one of them? So hold on, let's see. They have Brian Robinson and Monty starting. All right. Jones and Kenneth Walker are hurt. Should I drop Madison for Zach Charbonnet for the week to replace one of them?
So Brian Robinson is playing the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Monty's playing the Saints.
Yeah.
and Charbonnet is playing the Cowboys.
So I think I think you would start Robinson and Montgomery here, right? I don't really 100% trust those other guys to jump in. Is Madison even playing? Or are they in a bye?
They're on a bye.
Yeah, so Madison, that's what he's talking about. Should I drop Madison? I assume this is redraft. Is anyone really going to pick up Madison after you drop him?
So, Bryce, my man, if you're there, just in the comments, are you on about dropping Madison to pick up Charbonnet off the waivers? If you are, why would you leave Jones and Kenneth hurt and drop somebody who's on a bye? Then if that's Aaron Jones, I'd drop Aaron Jones maybe and pick up like Charbonnet for the week if you need that. But if you don't need to pick up Charbonnet, then I just start Robinson and Monty. I prefer
that Aaron Jones injury is quite bad, isn't it?
You know, it's like somebody said on the Wildcard Dynasty show that he's their own unplant for the season. You know, this guy here.
That was looking real bad for you at the start of the year, but actually, as the years gone on, he's gone downhill. So have the Packers in general, but yeah, he's started to fall downhill. Brian Robinson, your plant of the year as well, by any chance? Was he? Was that last year?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Probably. I fucking love Brian Robinson, man.
You're a big Brian Robinson guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bryce is adding as well. He doesn't like that Brian Robinson matchup. And I don't hate it. I don't hate the matchup against him. I think
if the Dolphins do what the Dolphins do, the Commanders need to score points to stay in that game. So expect them to score points.
Yeah, absolutely. He says, follows up. Yeah, he's not confident in Deontay or Thielen at my flex. I mean, Paul's just saying Adam Thielen is his start of the week, Bryce. My goodness.
I love Thielen this week, Bryce. I think the change of head coach is going to do wonders for the Panthers, and they maybe fling the ball about a little bit. And we saw at the start of the season where Adam Thielen was actually started off phenomenal at the start of the season, and I think we may see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I'm feeling.
I prefer Thielen to Charbonnet. That's all I'm saying.
Same. I would agree on that take for sure. Paul, why don't we get into your little guessing game? Will we? Like, you got wide receivers for me, and then I'll show some crap from the internet, and then we'll get out here, right?
Yeah. Unless you want me to ask you my hot question, which I've got for you.
Oh, you've got a hot question. Oh,
well, I have a question for you because something came up this week where my little brother was. We were chatting about our home league, and he's really pissed off because he got his Panthers head on and drafted Bryce Young over CJ Stroud, and now he's like, if I had CJ Stroud, I'd definitely be looking like I could win this league and stuff like that, you know. So it made me look back at sort of drafts I've done, you know, looking in the past and stuff. And I wondered, has there ever been a time, and I will give you an example of my worst one, where you've made a decision and you've gone, this is what I'm going to roll with. This is my head. This is what my head's saying. I'm going to pick that guy over that guy. Have you ever looked back and gone, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah. Every single time I drafted Zach Wilson. Like, high in the first round. Like, I had a lot of Zach Wilson as well. Like, I had quite a bit of him. And, like, think about the names. I mean, no, it doesn't look so great. Like, but, I mean, Justin Fields, despite what's happening, could have got Justin Fields. Like, and a lot of people taking Zach Wilson ahead of Justin Fields there. Some of the wide receivers coming out there, like, yeah. The big one as well is people forget Justin Jefferson was going pick 7, pick 8 in that rookie class. Like, missed out on a lot of Justin Jefferson to take players I can't even remember now who they were whenever they're coming out. But yeah, a lot of times people passed up on Justin Jefferson. I certainly have, and then taken Zach Wilson over. I can't exactly remember who who the wide receivers were in that class, but I know there was quite a few. Was that a Chris Olave class, maybe? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Taking like Wilson over Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. Yeah, that sucks. That real sucks. Like, yeah.
So my example of my worst thing ever, and I've just looked at some more, and there's some real fucking corkers in this one, okay?
Yeah.
So the first one is 101 goes Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
That wasn't me. I was at pick 3, okay?
I know who you've picked here.
102 went Henry Ruggs the third.
Oh!
Okay. 103, I'm on the clock. Who do I go with, Mags?
Oh, you go with my main man, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, do you?
Clyde Edwards, fucking Helaire.
Yeah. He was going 1-1 in a lot of leagues.
Who goes pick 4?
Pick 4, Jamar Chase? No, he was the year
before him.
Pick 4. Was that the Justin Jefferson year?
Justin Jefferson goes pick 4. Three of us passed on Justin Jefferson.
Wow.
And then like I'm looking here now, and Jerry Jeudy went then.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, actually, I picked Jerry Jeudy before CeeDee Lamb as well. Cool.
Oh,
cool. So I had picked 3 and picked 5 in that draft, and could have had Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb in that draft. And I own Jamar Chase, which I got the year after as well. And I've got Tyreek Hill, so you know what I mean.
So you could have had Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, but what you got was Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jerry Jeudy. Wow, that's like Dynasty in a nutshell. But at the time, I bet you were like, yes, I fucking smashed this. I've got like Dynasty running back 1 on the Chiefs. He's going to catch the passes. Jerry Judy's the best.
Pat Mahomes says he wants him as well. Pat Mahomes is like, I want that guy. Go get that guy.
Yeah. Judy's going to the Broncos. They're high flying. They just need a quarterback. Oh man.
And I could, mate. And over the last couple of seasons, I could be sat here now with Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyreek Hill on my team.
Wow.
Makes me so angry. But I came back on the clock then at 2:03 and picked up Joe Burrow, so I'm quite happy with that one. And then Tua went, and then Justin Herbert went, and then in round 4 Jordan Love went, and then 5:01 was Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
And he's sitting there.
He was a second round pick, meant to like be a backup to Carson Wentz at the time, right? Like,
yeah, and you look back and you go, fucking hell, man. At 3:05, when I picked up Donovan Peoples-Jones, Jalen Hurts was still on the board, like, you know? And it's like, oh, man. But I had a lot of joy looking back, and that was probably the worst one where I felt like I suffered the most.
Yeah, that's a particularly stingy one. Yeah, I'll have to look back at some of the drafts I took Zach Wilson, because they'll be pretty painful as well. We got me and Guy Phil back in the chat as well. Phil, of course, of the wildcard Devi team. Phil saying, in any of your leagues has the JT injury news caused a load of Zach Moss trades? I've not really seen any. I don't think I've seen a single trade for Zach Moss. I was saying, Phil, I've not noticed, like, Moss was not on a single waiver wire in a single league I was in. So he was already wrapped up, so no one picked him up off waivers. I've seen a hell of a lot of Zach Mosses on the block, but no trades as of yet. What? It's hard to say what he's worth. I suppose people will happily throw out a second, right? But I don't know if that'll be accepted.
I think people are overvaluing him. And hence why we're not seeing trades for him. So if you're the owner of Zach Moss and you see Jonathan Taylor go down and you see contender, you go, who on the block will take a first? And they're going, I'm not going to give up a first. And they're going, oh, okay, well, don't have him then.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, we got a homer pick as well for you, Paul. Nino Pina. I think Nino's been in the chat before. If you've not, Nino, please hit that subscribe button. That'd be great. Would you guys play it safe and go Gibbs versus New Orleans this week, or mix it up and do you go Jalen Warren against your Cardinals? What do you think, Paul?
That's really tough. I think both. I can see the upsides of both. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a good running back against a really tough team there, but he'll get some volume. But I think the Cardinals are so shit that Jalen Warren is worth a flex. If you could start them both, if you can fit one in your flex, put them both in.
I was just about to say that as well. Yeah, have a look at your flex position and yeah, see if you can get Warren in your flex position as well. I think you got to start Gibbs. Gibbs has just got home run potential at all times. Like, and I guess New Orleans he should do pretty well. Phil following up saying he's trying to flog him to any contender. He's going to be probably no use next year, I would imagine. Really, so I think you can get a second. If you can get a second round pick for him, Phil, I'd be pretty happy. You might even be able to get a third on top or get a wide receiver that you really like. Yeah.
Worst case scenario, just get 2/3.
I think you can get more than 2/3 for Zach Moss. I think you can definitely get second, right?
Definitely. Would you buy him
for 2/3? Oh yeah, definitely.
Would you buy him for a second?
Yeah. If that kind of thing we spoke about at the start, at like the start of the year, like if you need these, I want to double check the Jonathan Taylor injury to make sure that he's actually going on IR and all of that before I would pull the trigger. But if Jonathan Taylor's going in IR, I think I'd definitely pay a second.
Well, I know Twitter, Sleeper, all of that X shit, they say 2 to 3 weeks, but some of the specialists are sort of saying could be 5.
Yeah, so that I would maybe hold off a few days and wait for the dust to settle on that before pulling the trigger. Because the last thing you'll do is spend a second on Zach Moss, and then you find out Taylor's only he's going to play in a cast or something, and he's actually fine. Like that'd just be a wasted pick. Like you're just setting it on fire. So. Keep
an eye on your contenders, and then when they get to Friday morning, they realize the team that they play and have put up a fucking mountain of points in the Seahawks Cowboys game. That's when you go, ooh, he's still here.
Yeah,
and that's when they'll go, oh shit, hang on, I need some upside here, and that's when they'll buy him. Sunday morning when they're setting their lineups and they're panicking. That's when you want to throw it out.
Shout out to Nino in the chat as well, saying that they've hit that drop that like and that subscribe button, which is great. And they're also following us saying they're in a redraft league with this. Their running backs are stacked. They got Bijan, Rashad White, they got Jahmyr Gibbs, they got Jalen Warren. I mean, Bijan, like Rashad White's a smash play this week. Rashad White's got a really good matchup. Who are the Falcons playing? Who's Bijan got? Like
Jets. Is it the Jets? I think it's the Jets.
That's interesting. Bijan and Warren. That's an interesting call. I think it's much closer between. Like I'd start Gibbs over Bijan. I think so. I think Bijan and Warren is a more interesting shout there.
Really?
I think so. I just don't trust the Falcons. Just like. I don't trust them at all. Like they're severely mismanaging one of the best running back prospects we've ever seen. So I'll take everything with a pinch of salt. Whatever.
The fact that he's coming off week 10 against the Cardinals, he had 95 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
And then week 12, he had 91 yards, a touchdown.
Yep. What was week 11? Was he on a bye?
Yeah, week 11. Week 11, he was on a bye. Week 12, he was running back 3.
Yep.
91 yards, a touchdown. 32 receiving yards and a touchdown.
Yep. Don't trust Arthur Smith. Like, this is how he lulls you in. Tyler Algier week.
Nah. You're negative as shit. You are. I'd be starting Bijan. Okay, don't listen to the host because he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'd be starting Bijan, Rashad, Gibbs, and Warren. Start them all. Put them in your flex spots. Fuck it.
If you got room, if you have room in the flexes, like that will be good. What kind of wide receivers are you working with Nino? Can any of those guys come out, or is your team just stacked as shit? And it's a win-win situation for you anyway. Like who knows?
Nino, don't. I've just seen your next message. Don't listen to this shower of shit next to me. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Bijan is like amazing, mate. He's gonna.
I love Bijan.
The Jets up. The Giants. He's gonna tear the Jets up.
I love me some Bijan. I just don't love me some Arthur Smith. But he has been using him a bit more, which is positive. But I just feel like I've been hurt already, Paul. I'm not ready to be hurt again with Bijan and Arthur Smith. Like never trust a man with a mustache like that. I mean, just shaft you every time.
I was always brought up to never trust an Irishman, and here I am listening to you. You know.
He didn't say he trusted me though. That's brilliant. So great questions there. If you got more comments or questions, leave them in the chat. We'll get to them very soon. Paul, I'm going to show you some shit from the internet now. Okay. How about
Okay. Show us some shit.
Let's do that. Nino, I know you just put in a question. I'll get to it in a second. I'm going to show you some absolute crap from the internet. Hey, look at this. The world's first ever rocket ball. Look at this. How awesome is that? You put a firework into the ball and just launched it.
You know what the best thing about that, okay? The best thing about that is he's obviously gone down to a field to do this with his mates, but he still wore pads and a helmet.
I love it.
And it's like an awful throw as well. He doesn't grip it properly, and it, yeah.
Hopefully somewhere down there, we had Kadarius Toney or Marquez Valdez-Scantling actually caught something, and it was that. And
oh no, they would. They'd be safe, mate. They wouldn't catch that.
Yeah.
They can't catch shit.
We love some gym feels. This guy. I love he casually gets up, takes a hit, and just stops himself recording. Like, this is... What a guy. That's a big hit. He took it like a champ, right?
Yeah, he did take it like a champ.
This ever happened to you?
I've seen
Look at this. Legend. Has that ever happened to you? Yeah, when your mate like clinks the top of the ball, right?
Do you remember being 18 and that was like the funnest game ever?
Yeah, this is genius. Like the quick reactions, the thinking, like... Yeah, he's waited a while for that to happen.
He's also a guy that's been done so many times, and he's tried. And your initial reaction is to go, it's horrible.
Yeah, I'm doing that. If that happens to me again, this is my move. I'm looking forward to it now. Like,
London 2024.
Let's bring it on. Yeah, absolutely love it. Speaking of Zach Moss, we got the Zach Moss fantasy managers. Here they come.
That's my guy, Phil, there.
Yeah, Phil rolling into week 13. Shades, new car, manager of a large paper company. Love it. Right. Speaking of love, this guy might be my favorite person in the NFL right now, right? Tommy DeVito. You seen the celebration? What do you call that? What's the name for that? Like this thing? Do you know?
Oh, the chef's kiss.
No, it's not. It's not like a. It's just like a. There's a dad.
Chef's kiss, mate.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, the chef's kiss is like that, but there's no kissing. It's just one of them.
Yeah, but it's still
It's close enough, right? It's like I don't know.
Do it in your best New York Italian accent.
No, well, I'm not. You're like, get out of here.
Yeah. You disrespect on my family.
Wow, nailed it. Absolutely nailed. But I love it. That's his dad in the crowd. Yeah, they asked him after, like, what is that called? And he was like, it's just one of it's just one of those.
His dad's not doing it. His dad's calling him a wanker.
He's different stadium. That's more of a Premier League stadium, I think, right? Hey, look at this old bastard. I hope this is Tommy DeVito's great granddad. Look at this guy. This is life goals, Paul.
Yeah. I want to be like that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kicking people in the pools. Hopefully he doesn't even know that kid. He just fucking, in you go. Yeah. Son. There you go.
He's in Benidorm or something,
Probably in Benidorm. Yeah, you are right. Hey, it's getting pretty cold.
Mate, my whole spine just shivered when he did that.
I mean, that just... Oh, how cold is there for a full pool to freeze solid? That's a painful. That's an old one as well. I remember seeing that like decades.
Yeah. That is quite an old one. But
that guy's knees are still sore. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To the skate park. Have a look at this. This is just... That poor guy did not see that coming nor deserve that to happen to him. Poor thing. You see Jameis Winston, whenever Ludacris was coming to that, Jameis Winston, he's got nothing else to do. Rap it along to Ludacris. Absolutely loving it. Oh, we've gone right back to that. My Twitter keeps glitching. I don't like it. But yeah, Jameis giving Derek Carr an absolute earful. Do you think Derek Carr was loving it, or just like, get this like deranged person away from me?
No, Derek Carr's going, mate, you can't even get on the pitch. Go sit down.
Yeah, go have a sit down. There's Luda descending from the rafters. Jameis is keeping his quarterback pumped. Right. What a professional. Doesn't even turn around to look at Luda. Karen Williams. I mean, Paul, I've been telling you for weeks in this show that Karen Williams is the real deal, and you just haven't listened to me.
God, fuck off, Max.
Are you willing
you
to
sat here? You sat here and went, he's shit. And now he has a big game. You're like, yeah, he's really good. Come at me with that mumbo jumbo crap.
I was very impressed last week. That was impressive. Like, before, everything for me, it looked like he was doing okay, he was doing good, but it's very system based, very like, okay, I see what's happening here. His yards per carry weren't through the roof. About the same as Darrell Henderson, about the same as any other running back play for the Rams. This was impressive. Like, he really tore up here. Now we'll see what he does against a more stern competition next week. But this is really good. Actually,
hang on, what are you saying about the Cardinals?
I mean, look at them. Although he does catch up to him there, which is not a good sign. You want a running back to have that breakaway speeds, but can't have everything.
Have you seen his stats? He's tired by then.
Nah, that was the only third quarter, right? He had some plenty more pain to put on the Cardinals as well. But yeah, I love his hands as well. Like, that's the big difference maker. Karen Williams.
Thanks for catching up.
He's I'm impressed. But we'll see. I'm not Team Karen yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there with him. Yeah.
You're there, man.
This is sad, right? Justin Herbert has a losing career record. Get Brandon Staley out of that stadium, out of the state, out of the country. Get him away, because he is killing one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yep.
Like,
it's awful.
Yeah. It is sad to see. And we spoke about it on the Wildcard Rewind last year. It's the Chargers are like Spurs, right? They're Spursy. If anyone gets that Premier League reference, they will. If there's a way to lose, they will find it. Apologies to Lewis.
Yep.
Yeah, but absolutely, yeah, not great for Herbert. Hopefully, he gets a change soon. Sad times, Frank Reich. There's a heart-pounding disappointment in not hitting the marks that we needed to hit to keep this going. This is probably the final chapter of my NFL journey, Frank Reich.
About fucking time as well.
Like, the heart, speaking from the heart, an honest man, and Paul's like, don't forget your coat. Fuck off.
It's a good job they got an automatic door that closes behind you, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Frank Reich's the kind of guy that would probably push when it says Polo anyway, right? So,
yeah.
Sayonara, Frank. Nice knowing you, right? What the fuck? Is this Frank Reich coaching here? What was this? Right? It's like, the idea is to keep your toes in, sir.
Yeah. Fucking awful, man. Awful.
Who is that? 15? That's not Terrace, is it? I don't know who 15 is.
Hang on, I'll Google it.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say Terrace Marshall, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Probably some nobody, right?
Jonathan Mingo.
Oh, that's bad. I mean, even get 1 foot in like in college, Mingo. I don't understand that even slightly. Like, even slightly. Don't know what he was doing. Hey, this is Quentin Johnson trying to catch a football, though. Have a look at this.
I've seen this. That is so accurate.
He's so bad. I mean, Justin Herbert, poor guy, like, just can't catch a break. Now, I came across this, right? This is a Sports Scran, it's called, right? This is a pulled pork sandwich at Charlotte FC. $11. Are you paying that for this?
Absolutely not.
What a joke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not good at all. Especially when, if you go to FC Seoul in South Korea, look at this. You get this for £8.70, beer included.
Oh, man.
That looks great.
That looks awesome.
Yeah. Hello. Shout out to my homeland, Northern Ireland. Windsor Park, £6. You get whatever the hell that is.
Oh, man.
That's a war crime.
Yeah, that is awful. You can't even fuck them up as well because the machine cooks it for you.
Yep. And that's just, I think there's bits of tinfoil stuck on it and everything. Just not good at all.
Shout out to one of my locals, Walsall Football Ground, that do meat pies.
Ooh, there's a lot of good pies in that page, actually. Yeah, you seen Matt Canada was at the Red Zone Studios this weekend.
Was he?
Yeah, setting off the fire alarm, causing explosions. Look, there he is.
Oh man,
did you not see this at the weekend?
I didn't see this. I've seen that he's.
Yeah, near the end of the show, the fire alarm went off, and Scott Hansen was like, "I'm not leaving." Like he kept rolling, like he rolled through, like and came back in and closed the show. Like absolute hero, he is.
What a legend!
But yeah, rumors are it's Matt Canada the whole time. Hey, look at this little asshole from Philadelphia.
Oh man, thing is, do that in the UK, and he'd have got his head kicked in.
Yeah. The Buffalo fan took that quite well, right? But most Buffalo fans have got, long-term concussion problems by slamming themselves through tables. So, you can't expect too much from them. But yeah, these kids, they do start them early in Philadelphia. Like that's a standard Philly kid, right?
Yeah,
I think so. See, Zach Wilson when he spotted Dolly Parton at the halftime show. they should play that video to him before. I was thinking the other day, has anyone been given more genuine chances than Zach Wilson? Like lucky breaks and like in and out of the team and people getting injured or like just by happenstance getting put back in. The amount of faith shown in that guy just for him to be absolute crap every single time is crazy.
I'll name you one.
Okay.
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, but at least he's like good, right? He deserves it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah. He's like earned some of it, right? Zach Wilson has never earned a starting job once. Minshew's playing all right this year, right?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah, but Zach Wilson is like constantly just terrible. And somehow he's the guy that beat the Eagles this year. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. You see this at the weekend? Deron Bland broke the NFL record for most pick sixes in a season with 5.
Yeah, hasn't he got more touchdowns now than like Travis Kelce?
Funny you should say that. More touchdowns than Devontae Adams, Brandon Ayuk, Devonta Smith, Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, and Puka. Probably Travis Kelce as well, actually, I would imagine. This is like a Cowboys thing, though. I think the previous record was Trayvon Diggs at the Cowboys anyway, right?
I think so, yeah. Something like that, wasn't it?
And quite recently, too. So, yeah, he's must be a Cowboys scheme thing for sure. Jackson Smith and Jigba sighting. Did you see this catch? Just unreal.
What a guy.
They need to get him more involved.
Real deal.
He's so good, right?
Plant the flag, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a trade offer for you. Currently being offered this in a league. I haven't pulled the trigger. I can't pull the trigger. I maybe should pull the trigger, but I can't. You ready? AJ Brown I'll be getting, but I got to give up Jackson Smith and Jigba and 2 2024 firsts.
No.
Right? I can't do it.
No.
Yeah. I believe in Smith and Jigba too much to do that.
I believe in them first as well. You could probably flip them first to move up the board to get somebody like a Marvin Harris Jr.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I've not pulled the trigger.
I knowing you, you're probably already in the position to get Marvin Harris Jr. You know.
Another two late firsts. Obviously, I'm securely in the playoffs. I'm number 2 seed, but yeah, I'm I'm still debating it. I'm still negotiations ongoing, but yeah, it's too much for now. Have a look at this. Some Thanksgiving fun from last week, which we didn't quite get to, of course. But George Kittle, look at this, just chucking turkey out. Now, I've got a controversial statement to make, right? Those Thanksgiving turkeys that they always have on the NFL looks like the most disgusting meat I've ever seen in my life. Like, it looks dry as shit. There's no way that is tasty.
It doesn't have to be tasty because they're paid a lot of money to say that it is tasty.
Yeah, that's true. You saying big turkey has a hold on the NFL?
Yep. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. Hey, look at this. The security guard tries to stop LaFleur from getting to his team. Must be nice for him to see someone actually blocking for a change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's not doing great either. He might be on the chop block as well, right? We could see a couple of coaches change. And hey, that's all the crap that I've got for you, Paul, from this week.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. And that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I see Nino's had a few more comments just on the general crap that we were showing. He's asking, are we already scheduled live stream thing always on a Wednesday? Usually actually on a Thursday. It's a special Wednesday edition. Nino, I know you can hit like that. There's a notification bell if you need to hit that as well. That'll let you know when we're on. But usually it's on a Thursday, but around the same time, that's whenever you can grab myself and Paul. And Paul, for Nino and maybe some other people listening who are not sure where can they find you, can you let the people listening know?
Find me on X at Paul_Picken, Picken. And yeah, I'm there. DM's always open. Hit me up. Chat shit. Let's do it.
Sounds good to me, guys. Hopefully we helped you out in this Week 13 preview. Best of luck with all your matchups. And remember, for anything Dynasty you need to know, keep it locked on the Certified Inferno. See you next week.